So we head on down to the Corn State. We go to Nebraska. Joe, obviously this quarterback battle is going to be centered, regardless of who wins it, around one guy, that is Dylan Raiola. But he might not be the starter come the opening game. But then again, he might be. You do have Dante Dow. I can't say the kid's last name. Dodell, excuse me if I'm who is going to be a running back that he came in with the transfer. But you do have say the kid's name. Start at HH.
Heinrich Harburg, I think is the pronunciation. It's
Okay.
a tough year for name pronunciation.
It's a very tough name, and you know my Cajun Southern ass can't pronounce it. Can I give you a hot take? I don't care what any other kid's doing. If you're Nebraska, you got to play him. You got to start him. Can I tell you? Because you're in a rebuild, and it's about time you get some shit going. You want to go get some recruits into Nebraska? Let Dylan Raiola start for you. The kid's more talented than any of them. We can't even pronounce the other kid's name. Play him, Joe. I mean, don't make this overcomplicated.
So the Harvard kid, for some context here, was the starter down the stretch. He did fine. He led the team in rushing, I think. I think he had like 500 yards rushing. The experience is good, and it's important in the sense that if things go wrong with Dylan Raiola, he can take over at any point. But like I look at Jane Rashada contributing early. I look at Dante Moore contributing early at UCLA and different situations, but them being able to go out there and just really amaze us and flex their capabilities and their traits. Didn't finish the season, either of them, for varying different reasons. Raiola needs to go out there. They're not going to win much in 2024. Let him go make mistakes. Let him, as you're talking about, generate buzz. Arch Manning generated buzz from the bench. Dylan Raiola is going to do it 10 times that if he goes out there, wins a game that he's not supposed to. Recruits are going to buy in. He's a natural guy. I think he's a natural playmaker, and he is just right for changing the direction of the program. Also, more importantly, it's a great example of a kid who keeps changing his damn mind. Get him on the field. Like, don't let him change his mind. Let him start to feel good about the situation.
Well, and if you're going to be serious about changing the program around, and if you believe the kid is as talented as he is, you got to get him game reps. Right? Like, if you get him game reps, the kid, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Don't mess around with it.
Don't mess around with it. By the way, I know a lot of people aren't high on this, but it's not like that they didn't go and get some pieces. Joe, they went and got Isaiah Neyor. They got Jamal Banks, both wide receiver transfers. They went out and got guys that they think that can play and that can actually and change some things for them. Why not let Dylan go? Joe, if the kid's more talented than all of them, but one's got more experience in this specific situation. Not every time, like at Ohio State, Joe. No, don't start Julian saying, because you're going for a national title run. This is a completely different scenario. The only thing I will say is if you don't want to break the kids' like spirit, like game one, down one, snap one, I understand letting somebody else with experience start. But by game 3, the kid's going to be in there starting, rotating, rolling. Bottom line. Because Nebraska's going to lose and they're going to call for him. Raiola. 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 And the big red machine is going to get their quarterback.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think of a counter argument to like why it would make sense for him not to play, other than if he's not ready.
Remember John Kitna? I'll never forget this. Remember when John Kitna started over Carson Palmer with the Bengals? Okay, the year that Palmer got there, and you were probably too young, but Kitna started.
I do remember a bit.
Okay, started over Carson Palmer. And the reason is that they did not want to break his spirits because they weren't going to be a good team. By the way, they made the playoffs. They had a guy named Chad Ochocinco. I don't know if he was any good. TJ Hushmazoo. Okay. Hushmanzada. By the way, his daughter played softball at LSU. Long story short, let the kid play. Let him get the reps. Let him, at minimum, get him time.
I don't. My whole point was what I was just saying is I don't think that there's any real downside to this. Like it really reminds me, not reminds me, but like you can draw a parallel to Jaden Rashada being named the starter at the beginning of the year at Arizona State. I think he had a bad injury that kept him out a decent bit of the year
Didn't he
last
break
year.
his tibia?
I forget what it was, but
Yeah, he had a horrible injury.
I don't think Nebraska's offensive line or roster is bad enough that he's going to get smoked that badly. So this is the benefit of him stepping in year 2 under Matt Rhule. You know that there's at least a little bit of a foundation being built. And I think if you're Matt Rhule, allow for Raiola to be the foundation. Allow for him to help establish the culture. If that kid goes out there and balls out, it is only going to increase the attraction for the program. It is only going to draw more and more positive attention. People are going to start talking about, is Nebraska back? Are they coming? Are they going to be able to, get back in the national conversation in a couple of years? Let them do all that bullshit. That is all perfect for Matt Rhule. BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. Bet online, where the game starts.